Here's an old picture. This is the President of the United States, Ford Edison, and this guy who is the founder of the company. This company was built into one of the biggest industrial operations in the world, making tires for these. Eventually, this great company was $1 billion in debt, surrounded by lawyer Mageddon, and had to sell out to a competitor. How did this happen? Now, remember back in episode 17, we talked about the driver. The driver leaves the picture, turns the thing over to the family, who is in a bubble. About 1965 came the commercialization of radial tires. This was disruptive technology in the tire industry. The reaction of the management was, it's just a fad. If it had been really good, we would have invented it ourselves. So in 1970, their major customer demanded radial tires. So they had two options: undertake a major investment program or retrofit existing equipment and do it on the cheap. And that's the one they did. So they launched the product without completely testing it, and they cranked up production. This was the historical strategy for everything. When the product started failing in the field and killing people, they refused to admit failure and doubled down on production, because that's who they were. With a mountain of defective tires and mounting lawsuits and 3/4 of the stock price gone, they brought in a finance guy as CEO. He immediately moved headquarters to Chicago to get away from the culture. He laid off 65,000 employees. He started to break up the company to increase the value of the stock, and eventually sold the leftovers to this guy. The Harvard Business Review had a name for this: active inertia. Which is where a company works as hard as it can to stay in one place. Even worse in its way than entrenched mediocrity. So who in all this did not do their jobs? My vote is for this guy. He assumed the kids would be just as brilliant as he was. And he taught people that the same thing that got you into a problem could get you out. By the way, this guy also did not do his job. Ironically, for pretty much the same reason.